This is the reminder move for ATM lesson number 19, preparation for a clock. Please lie on your back with both of your arms on either side of your body and gently scan yourself for the spaces in which you lift away from the floor and where you press down into the floor. Now, after you have a good idea of what type of contact you have with the ground and what type of pressure you push into the floor, or maybe the spaces at which you lift up, and that could be in the back of your knees or behind your neck or small of your back. Please place your 2 feet standing on the floor. Spread your legs and begin using light movements, lifting your tailbone off of the floor. Now, this is a funny little thing because you are lifting your tailbone in a way that you're using your abdominal muscles, the muscles in the front of your body, and your legs, so only the tip of your tailbone, your coccyx, leaves the floor. So it's pressing the small of your back into the ground, lifting the tip of your tailbone away. And this is a very light, a very small, a very gentle movement. And your legs and your feet are pretty much standing simply and softly, so it's not a whole lot of effort in your legs. Your knees don't necessarily fall in or out, but it's just gently tipping your pelvis in a way that you can lift the tip of your tailbone away from the ground and gently press your back into the floor. So now begin making the opposite movement. Begin lifting your lower back from the floor until you can lean on the tip of your tailbone. Your lower back, your lumbar spine, lifts away from the floor. And then you let it come back down to neutral. Now, when you do this over and over again, easy, you can slide your hand underneath your belt line or your lumbar region or the small of your back. And then come back down nice and easy. Now, keep doing the same thing and lift your middle and push your tailbone down into the floor. So you're keeping your pelvis in contact with the floor the whole entire time. You're not lifting, but you're more rocking your pelvis. And as you rock on the tip towards the tip of your tailbone, your pelvis pulls your spine down and your chin might move closer to your throat. And when the pressure is on your tailbone, let's just call that 6 o'clock. And when the pressure is on your lumbar spine and your coccyx, the tip of your tailbone is lifted, we'll just say that's 12 o'clock. So you can imagine the face of the clock being flat on the ground. And as you press your back down and you lift your tailbone up, that's 12 o'clock. And as you push the tip of your tailbone and lift the small of your back, that'll be 6 o'clock. And then leave this alone and let yourself rest. Now again, keep your feet standing on the floor, and then this time press the left side of your pelvis towards what you could consider 3 o'clock. So you'll kind of lift your right side a little bit, and then you lift your left side until there's a pressure towards 9 o'clock. So it's 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, to 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock. So you're moving on the ground right to left several times, easy. And then leave this alone and let yourself rest. Now again, bring both of your knees standing on the floor and begin to slowly make a full circle with your pelvis. Now, you don't have to do this hard, it doesn't have to lift anything, it doesn't have to be painful or difficult, but begin to start at 12 o'clock. So you're lifting your tailbone, you're pressing your back down into the ground, going from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And all the way around. And just observe what your head is doing. Does your head make the same movement? So clockwise all the way around that circle. And then start changing the movement, going the opposite direction. So go counterclockwise. 12 o'clock to 11 o'clock to 10 to 9. Make sure you pay attention that you're traveling through all of the digits as smoothly as you can around in the circle and not kind of moving in a square or an octagon or a pentagon. And then leave this alone, let yourself rest. Now again, so this time sit and put your 2 feet standing, and then let your soles of your feet touch each other by your knees falling towards the outside. Lean on both of your hands behind you and begin to make a similar movement that you just finished doing while lying down. And this is rocking your pelvis towards 6 o'clock and then back up towards 12 o'clock. Six o'clock and then 12 o'clock. And then begin rocking your pelvis right and your left, so you start to shift between 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. And this means that your legs will come closer down towards the floor and then back over to the other side. So towards the floor and then lifting up, and then towards the floor and lifting up. And then leave this alone, let yourself rest. Now again, come back up into the same sitting position with your hands on the floor behind you. Put the soles of your feet together again, and then begin making circles with your pelvis. And it doesn't necessarily matter if you go to the right first or to the left first or clockwise and then counterclockwise. And then start going in the opposite direction. And then leave this in rest. Now stay on your back, but lift your shoulders and your head so you can lean on your elbows and your forearms. And then remain in this position. Touch the soles of your feet together as before, so your knees fall towards the outside. And begin rocking between the hours of 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock. So pushing the tip of your tailbone into the ground towards 6 o'clock, and then lifting that tip of your tailbone to drop your small of your back towards the floor to 12 o'clock. So you're rocking your pelvis forwards and backwards, pushing your abdomen out, pushing your belly forward. Now stay in the same position, begin making circles in one direction. Nice and slow, nice and easy. And then start going in the opposite direction. And then leave this alone, lie on your back and rest. Now stay on your back, spread your legs, bend your knees, and place the soles of your feet together on the floor. And then begin to make a few circles with your pelvis in one direction and then in the other, and see if that's easier. And then let your legs go long, and do the same thing, but this time with your legs long and your arms on either side of your body. Begin making circles with your pelvis in this position. So legs long, not bent. You might have to help yourself with your heels on the floor. And then again, bend your knees, have your feet standing on the floor again, and begin to make circles with your pelvis, clockwise or counterclockwise. And just pay attention and notice the hours that you can now touch towards the ground a little bit more clearly. And then lengthen both of your legs. Have both of your legs long and begin to make the circles again. A few times clockwise, a few times counterclockwise. And then leave this alone, let yourself rest. Now go ahead and come back on up to sitting again if you would please. Put your hands behind you. Put the soles of your feet standing, the soles of your feet standing on the floor. And then this time cross your right leg over your left. And from this position, begin making circles on the floor with your pelvis and your buttocks. And then change the direction, go the other way. And then just uncross your legs, stay in the same position. And then start to make circles. Just a few in one direction, and then a few in the other direction. And then leave this alone, let yourself rest. Now, lying on your back, put just your right foot standing on the floor. Your left leg's going to stay long. Your arms just rest on either side of your body. And begin making circles with one leg only. And get help from your other heel, your other leg, the back of your knee, maybe on the opposite side. And begin to make circles in one direction, around the clock, and then go the other direction. And then change your legs. Put your left leg standing, your right leg long, and start to make circles in one direction, just a few, circles in the other direction. Now lengthen both of your legs, come up onto your elbows and forearms, and try to make circles with your pelvis in one direction and then the other. And is that different? Is it softer? Do you feel more of a circle? Is the clock more developed? Now stay on your elbows and your forearms, put both of your feet standing, and go back to going from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. And then from your forearms, come all the way down onto your back, keeping your knees bent. Place your 2 feet standing on the floor. And very gently begin lifting your tailbone off of the ground, going towards 12 o'clock. Pressing your tailbone into the ground towards 6 o'clock. And just notice if that's different, softer, easier. Maybe your breath is improved, less tension in your face. So this is a great lesson to learn how to become a more waving, bending spine. It's a great lesson. Let me know what you think down below, and I appreciate any comments that you have. And look forward to hearing from you soon. Have a great night. Bye-bye.